Do you want to know what a Ferrari 488 feels like to drive? Well, I'll show you. Ah! It's kind of like that.
The 488 is a car that demands attention, but not just because of its brutal acceleration.
This car totally stands out, especially in this historic racing colour. So it's called Rosso Dino, but it's a £7,000 option, and it's not red, it's orange. It's rather nice. Then there's all the carbon fibre which has been fitted to this car, which is an optional extra, and there's like thousands and thousands of pounds worth of it actually. And if you click up there, you can see just how much has been fitted in my separate video. But then there's the aero on this car, so there's so much fitted to it. So you've got that splitter at the front, it's got a flat underbody as well. There's these scoops at the side which let the air exit at the back, it all smooths the airflow. You've got a rear diffuser with flaps which lower and raise depending on your speed. And in total, this car produces 325 kilograms of downforce at 155 miles an hour. So, you know, this car's bodywork, it not only looks good, but it has a job as well.
It's the same story with the interior. It's designed to combine the focus of a Formula One car with the luxury of a 7-star hotel.
The interior of this car is absolutely blooming lovely. It's a great thing to sit in. The materials are all very expensive feeling, fit and finish is great. These are the £6,000 optional racing seats, and they really hold you in place. The only problem is that they're a little bit on the firm side. After a while, you do get a bit of an achy bottom. Another complaint I have is the infotainment system, so it's really fiddly to use. The stereo isn't brilliant. The dials are kind of tricky to read. And you could think that this car could benefit from having Audi's virtual cockpit. Did I really just say that? Sorry, Ferrari.
However, if you're less interested in computer processing power and more into good old-fashioned horsepower, Italian is definitely the way to go.
The heart of every Ferrari is, of course, its engine, and I love how they put it on display. And why not when it looks this good? And it goes as good as it looks as well. So this 3.9 litre twin-turbo V8 has 670 horsepower, 760 newton meters of torque, and it's got 172 horsepower per litre, which is more than any other Ferrari.
0 to 60 miles an hour takes just 3 seconds, while top speed is 202 miles an hour, so almost 3 times the national speed limit.
I don't think I've ever said this before, but I reckon this car is too fast for the road. I mean, it's just insane. Being a turbo, you've got loads of low-down pulling power, but in order to encourage you to rev the engine out, Ferrari have limited the torque in all but the 7th gear. Even so, I'm not revving it out because I'm just going to short shift because there's no way I'm going to the red line, it's just too frightening. This car pulls in 6th like my Porsche 911 996 does in 2nd. It's mad. Ferrari, you scare me. Now, this car would be hugely dangerous if the rest of it wasn't up to the standard of the engine, but thankfully it is. So the brakes, I mean, they are immense. Carbon ceramic as standard, you stand on them and you can feel your brain smash against the front of your skull. You know, this thing can give you concussion if you do an emergency stop. The steering, I mean, this car will turn right or left as fast as you can look right or left. It's mad. And then there's the grip. So I have been nowhere near this car's limits. It's not possible on the road. It's just way better than me. And the front end especially just seems to carve into the road. It's almost like a ski's edge, the way it cuts through the snow. And as you link a few turns together at very high speed, you feel a little bit like a professional downhill skier. I mean, it's so much fun, but the risks are almost as great because of the speeds you're going. Yeah, if you get things wrong, it's going to end very, very badly. I really think I should give this car back.
Thankfully, the 488 has some clever technology on board to let you tap into its performance whilst also keeping you safe.
The car stability control system is a little bit cleverer than on other cars, and you control it using this Manatino switch. So you can have it in wet mode, which dulls the throttle response slightly. Put into sport, you get the normal throttle response. Move into race, gets a little bit harder and faster. So do the changes from the automatic gearbox, or if you're using the pedals, they're a bit more aggressive. You can go into CT off, which turns off the traction control, so the engine will provide all its power, but you will have stability control to stop you spinning out. But in both these modes, race and CT off, you have something called side slip control. And what that does is uses not only the braking system, but the electronic diff, uses the gearbox and the adaptive dampers to control your drift angle. So it basically makes you look like a hero when you're driving, even if you're still a bit of a zero. You can, of course, turn all the systems off, and then you really are on your own.
That mode is best reserved for the track. After all, if you can afford the £185,000 for this Ferrari, you're still not immune from the facts of modern motoring.
Obviously, it's not very often that you get to really exploit this car's true potential, and a lot of the time you're just going to be coasting around town or something in it, and it actually does a pretty good job, really. So you can press this button here and it puts the suspension into bumpy road mode, and it's then surprisingly comfortable. Also, the view out's pretty good, and I like the fact that from the driver's seat you can see the contours of the bonnet and even the air intake in the side mirror there. I mean, how many cars can you appreciate the exterior design from the inside? Well, you can with this thing. There are a few things I don't appreciate, and that's when you put the automatic gearbox, which is blindingly quick by the way, into automatic mode. When you try and manoeuvre, it can feel a little bit jerky. Then there's the fact that the carbon ceramic brakes, they make this noise when you're just pootling along. They're really squeaky. And then there's the design. I mean, I like the look of this car, but it does get a bit of a mixed reaction. So when I was outside London, people were like giving it the thumbs up, taking pictures of it. When I got into London, people seemed to hate it. At one point, I was stopped at the traffic lights, and these lads walked across the front of me, and one of them went like this to me. I mean, what's all that about? Totally unnecessary. I have no idea what that means anyway. Now you're probably wondering, where's the part of the video where I talk about the good things about this car and the bad things? Well, there's so much to actually discuss with this 488 that I've actually done a separate video, and you can watch it by clicking over there. If you click over there, you can actually watch my video about the amount of options fitted to this car, and I'll have to tell you that the number and the value is quite obscene. Now if you click it there, you can also subscribe to this channel, and of course if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it. That didn't work, I was supposed to go.